So I'm sat in Calvary Park in Tunbridge Wells. It's a place where I come often, but this particular part, the upper part of the park, I don't come to very often. We're directly opposite Tunbridge Wells Croquet Club, and there are some white resplendent figures out with their croquet mallets on the green and balls and hoops. And as you can hear, some youngsters playing on the basketball and football courts in front of us. And I feel like I'm waiting for a bit of a blind date, to be honest with you, because on the bench behind me, carved, are the words buddy bench. This is the creation of Seth Hunter. Now, hang on, I think this might be Seth. I think it's got to be. He's got a bright yellow sweatshirt on.
I noticed you admiring the bench.
With the words buddy bench written on.
Correct.
It must be Seth, right?
Correct, it is Seth. And the fact that I've got buddy bench emblazoned across my chest gave you a clue, perhaps.
Absolutely, it did. So, Seth, tell me, why have we met here in Calvary Park on a bench that's got the words buddy bench carved into the back?
Yeah, so this was an idea that I probably had a couple of years ago, and it was kind of a sort of post-COVID thing. You know, I think if we realised anything in COVID is that humans need humans, and it can't just be Zoom. we sort of need each other. We're pack animals, essentially. And I thought it would be nice to have an excuse to talk to strangers, because it's sometimes difficult to strike up a conversation with someone that you don't know, because you don't know that they want to talk to you. So I thought, wouldn't it be good if there was a place where you'd essentially given a stranger permission to say hello?
What was the impetus? Where did the idea come
from? The inspiration. Well, the inspiration was two places. One, I got a puppy, and I'd take my puppy for regular walks in the local park, and people would talk to me. All sorts of people, young, old, women, disabled, and, all sorts of people. And we'd just chat about, the weather or what was on TV, or aren't we sick of wearing masks? And just for 10 minutes. And then I'd do that maybe 3 times as I walked around the park. And then I'd come back home and I realised that I was feeling really good. And I just thought, we need something like that doesn't require you owning a puppy. And then the other inspiration was they have them in schools. They have, you might know this if you have children, but they call them friendship benches. And the idea in schools is that it's a place that everybody in the school knows that if you want to have a chat, you can go and sit on it. And that's a sign for anyone else in the school, whether it's a teacher or a pupil, to come and say hello. And the idea is it could be something quite serious, like difficulties at home, but it could just be that you're worried about your homework. So I sort of thought that's a lovely idea for children, but wouldn't it be nice to bring that into the world for adults?
And here we are, sat on this very stout and sturdy buddy bench.
Seasoned oak, renewable.
So, how long's it been here, and what feedback have you had?
So it's been here, I think it was the 15th of May a year ago. No, maybe 2 years ago. So maybe it is about a year and a half-ish. I'm rubbish at dates. But the feedback's been overwhelming. So for a period at the beginning, I would actually sit here myself for a few hours, and I'd essentially try and be charming and engage people, and I'd have some leaflets. So I'd sit here. My sort of joke was, I bet you're wondering why I'm sat here on my own. Of course they weren't. There was this random person on the bench and say, let me give you a flyer, this, and explain it. So it was a little sort of joke. And we're now at a stage where, we're looking at a nationwide scheme, possibly global. I've got some interest in America and Albania. And we've got quite a following on social media. And I'm also in talks with the Samaritans about the idea of maybe having a professional Samaritan that's trained to deal with people in distress for a certain number of hours on a bench.